What is up, everybody? It is Call, Jose, and Jim. We're blessed to have Jim from Just a Guy Who Loves Spurs and Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. We're very blessed to have him with us today. Jim, how are you today, my man?
Thank
you. You doing okay? You surviving after yesterday? Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Jose, how are you today, my man? It's been a rough 24 hours. Oh, and you are muted, brother.
I said it hasn't, and I'm all cool. I'm all cool, mate. There's no worries whatsoever. I'm still cool.
Good deal. We've got a lot to talk about. And Jim, we kind of wanted to get your opinion. Maybe a little more than everybody else's. We wanted to talk about basically. So we all know that there were plenty of negatives from the match last night. There were some negatives. We can't look past that completely. There were obviously also some positives, but just to get the negatives out of the way, where do you think things kind of went wrong for us? Where do you think that we, where did the trouble begin? And
I think, Colin, that the Spurs players, I think they wanted to try too hard. I think they wanted to win too much. And I think they got a bit overexcited.
Man, were they singing a fake Christmas song?
The first 15, 20 minutes, they were sensational. And if they'd have just carried on like that, we would have trounced them. But they got a bit excited, and they probably wanted to beat Chelsea really bad for us because they know how much we dislike Chelsea, and I think they got a bit excited. But I mean, Romero, he's got that in him, and I'm not going to moan about him. I mean, I've heard people putting him down. I'm not going to put him down at all because he's been sensational this season.
Hell
yeah! He only had 2 yellow cards before that, so I'm not going to put him down. Your dog is young; he'll learn, So, I mean, it is what it is. We lost 4-1 to Chelsea, which hurts. Of course, it hurts. But Ange plays the way he plays. He's not going to change. And we all love him. People who wanted him before, I wanted him before he come to the club. And I'm not going to moan about his tactics because that is the way he plays.
Absolutely. And Jose will tell you, we talk about it. We knew a loss was coming. We knew that, this was inevitable.
Before the match or when the match was on?
Before the match, we just knew that there was, we didn't think we were going to go undefeated the entire season with the way Postecoglou plays that high line. We knew that we were going to get exploited there eventually, and so I'm almost glad that the loss away. We no longer have the monkey on our back of we're undefeated. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that maybe it'll take a little bit of pressure off the lads.
Yeah. I never said that I thought we'd lose the game at all. I've not been one of them that's been looking forward to a defeat. I'm not one of them that thought we'd get defeated anyway. At the end of the day, I've always said you play each game as it comes. Cool. Yesterday, we did lose the game. The history books will say we lost 4-1. The history books, if you're going to look on facts, will say we had 2 players sent off. The history books will say there were 36 fouls, 23 committed by Chelsea, 13 by Tottenham. We were punished. They weren't. The history books is going to say a lot of things. At the end of the day, the meat and the sandwich is the result. We lost 4-1. We got to take the L. It's as simple as that. We need to take the L. However, from taking that defeat yesterday, there are some negatives and there are some positives. And that's what we need to, that's what we as a fan base and also Ange and the coaching team need to take forward to the training pitch and to our next game and the game after that and the game after that, all the way till the end of the season.
Yeah,
I just think it was. I just think, and I wasn't trying to say I thought we were going to lose yesterday. I thought yesterday was in the bag before the match and in the build up and in the week towards the match. I thought for sure we were going to smash them, but I just knew. I guess what I'm saying is I just thought that inevitably during the season at some point this young team learning a new style of football would have a loss, and now it's all about how we come back from it and the fight that we show, and. I think I don't want to say it's good for the team at all. I just think that it's good. Some adversity is good for the boys at times, and I think seeing how they climb through.
11v11, there's no chance on this planet that they can even get a draw out of it. You know, I just couldn't see that. But I said before the game on the last stream I was on, Kate's stream, I said that this game we had with Liverpool is going to come back and bite us on the backside, right? I said that what happened to them is going to happen to us one time this season, without any doubt. And I didn't expect it to be the Chelsea game, but sod's law it was. You know, I mean, there's nothing. I thought the guys, I thought they didn't give up. They fought. And do you know what? There was a point we could have actually got in front in the game. It was down to 9 men. You know, we had 3 good chances.
Yeah, what we said. So Jim, what are the negatives from yesterday, mate?
The negatives for me, right, is obviously we've lost Romero. That's a negative. We've lost your doggy for one game. That's a negative. But for me, the massive negative to yesterday was not the 4-1 loss. Was losing Van der Ven. You know, how long is he going to be out for? That's a huge loss. You know, at the end of the day, Romero, he's going to get sent off now and again because that's his game. He seems to, something seems to switch in him, and he has a mad game, and that was yesterday. You just got to accept that with him. But the massive for me yesterday was the huge thing for me yesterday was losing Van der Ven. That's massive. I mean, because he's been immense.
And that looked like a bad one. It didn't look like a little bit of a hammy problem. It looked like a tear or something.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be back this side of Christmas, that's for sure.
That's what Jose was saying earlier this morning. Yeah. He and I had a talk this morning, or this morning for me, this afternoon, early afternoon for him. But yeah, he said the exact same thing, that we won't see him until the new year. And
I can tell you another massive positive, a negative to yesterday. I can't scream from the rooftops we're going to win the league.
I mean,
why not? Why not? It's still possible. The only thing you can't scream is we're
possible. It's still possible. I've got to put my sensible head on, right?
Yeah, but the only thing you can't scream now, Jim, is we're undefeated. That's the only thing we can't scream. Everything else is still possible.
Chris Peters,
it's going to be hard now.
Yeah, but one cool thing, and the Chris Peters' comment kind of has to do with it. But he said putting his penny's worth in since he can't be here. He says Udogie and Romero let us down, but Dyer and Højbjerg really stood up for us.
Yes.
And so the fact that now we have these 2 players who we know are capable, coming into the squad they looked hungry. Didn't you agree? They looked very hungry.
Did. Yeah.
And so.
But Colin, you got to look at. Well, this is what I'm looking at now, right? You got to look at the Dyer. Can you imagine Dyer having a great game against Newcastle, having a great game against Villa, having a great game against City? It's very unlikely. I mean, I've got to be honest with myself. I mean, he looked all right when he come on. He done some really good last ditch tackles. He done a fantastic one when the guy was 1-on-1 with the keeper.
Yeah,
put his slid in and put his body in the way and got it out for a corner. But can he sustain it over them against them sort of teams? Well, he's proved in the past he can't. That's all I'm going to say.
And who are we going to partner with him? You know what I mean? Who do we even? I guess I've wanted to see Ashley Phillips for
it's
going to have
to be.
So yeah, I guess we'll finally see if he's ready. But yeah, so I kind of got you off track a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. But we were talking about the negatives, and basically the biggest negative, like you said, is losing losing Van der Ven.
Yeah.
And then Jose pointed out too that kind of hamstring injury is a recurring injury.
Is that the second time, Jose? Is that?
No, I don't know how he said it before, but what I said to Colin this morning, early for Colin, but it was early lunchtime for me when Colin had woken up. I said to Colin that for me, once your hammy goes, then it's a recurring injury. It'll continue to come back and go again. And the two that I gave him was Sessegnon, happens to Sessegnon all the time. And I said to Michael Owen. Michael Owen had hamstring pull playing for Liverpool and England. As soon as he got his first one, that was his career over. By the time he was 25, he had hammies all the time, didn't he? So,
yeah,
I mean, what Colin was saying to me this morning on the phone, he was trying to sympathise with me and say, yeah, but medical science has got that much better. And I said, well, if it's got that much better, then there'd be no hamstring injuries and everyone would be cured of it. But it still goes on. So it's one of them ones that it remains to be seen, see what happens.
I mean, the VAR, it doesn't help, does it? Stop
all
start,
that extended time. Well, yeah, and then all the added time at the end of halves and stuff too. I feel like that's got to play a role.
I can't. To be honest, Jim, I can't turn around. My negatives yesterday were Romero and the doggy. I felt they let us down, regardless, because they both should have received a possibility of receiving red cards before they actually did.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that to a certain extent.
Your doggy's tackle was worse.
I said to Colin this morning that the doggy's tackle, I don't know. I mean, I played football for years and years, and no one ever taught me to tackle like that, to fly 2-footed tackle in the air towards a player or the ball. The thing is with the law the way it is, although he didn't touch him, the intent was there, the way he was out of control. So therefore, he could have received that red. The petulance that Romero showed when kicking out a la David Beckham, because David Beckham didn't kick the Argentinian boy hard, but the petulance
was exactly the same as yesterday's one.
And that's what I said. So he was lucky that he stayed on. The two players, Romero's, the other thing is Romero's red card for that tackle on Enzo Fernandez, he went to do the player. He's won the ball. His foot was in a natural position for him to go and force it through the way he did. That doesn't happen on a football pitch. I played football for years and I would never have ended up in my foot position like that if I had made that tackle. So therefore, he's gone to do the player.
I was gonna throw this up. So Jose clearly believes that the tackle was as bad as you know they're saying. Jim, did you think? I mean, so to me, and I'm like an optimist, and I like to think that our players are angels. Do you think Romero set out to do that guy, or do you think that?
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did. The thing is, if you watch it, I've watched it a couple of times. He clears the ball and his foot follows through, and the other guy's coming in, right? So it's kind of he's got nowhere to go. Yeah, but
that's how I saw it too.
He's got to be smarter than what he was yesterday. He kind of lost it. He kind of lost it, didn't he? With just before the kick out to the guy, he's got this in him. It's frustrating. He seems to lose it a bit. Then after he'd done the kick out, right? Kate said he's going to get sent off. What happened? He got sent off. After he done your doggy got done the sliding tackle, which was a sending off, right? Yeah. Both studs up. Kate said he's going to end up getting sent off. He got sent off. It's just frustrating to see it. But look, let's look on the bright side of it, right? Exactly. Romero's been good this season for us. He'll come back, and he'll come back stronger, right? For that, he's got Ange behind him. Ange is a smart guy. He's been a manager. It's 26 years, 28 years, whatever it is.
Right.
He'll talk to these two guys. He's young, your doggy, right? We've had at least they're both done in the same game. They're done now. Let them get it. They've got it at their system. Let Ange deal with them, and they come back stronger for it.
I agree. They'll definitely know what they can and can't do. They won't make that mistake again. I truly believe that. Jose, do you mind if I get through some of these comments real quick, or we're gonna get buried?
Yeah, sorry. Just before you go into the comments, all I want to say is I don't agree, Jim, for once, and I always agree with you, but this time I can't. For me, Romero is a World Cup winner. He should know better.
Yeah, of course he should.
Ange can put his arm around him. Ange can coach him. The whole works going forward. But Romero has got this fucking silliness in him, and he's got to cut it. He's got to cut it out.
Yes, right?
He has to cut it out. With a doggy for me, 20 years old, he'll learn from it. Ange put his arm around him. He'll learn from it. I'm not too sure whether the Romero will learn from it because Romero's got this in him. I thought he'd shaken it out. But
it looked like it.
He's shown it yesterday. And
but what I'm saying, Jose, right? Do you think he did that? Do you think he did that on purpose? Followed through
the tackle? Yes, I do. It was unnatural. Yeah, it was unnatural.
Do you think he just thought he wouldn't get in trouble for it? Then?
I reckon. Do you know what?
Thought he'd get away with it.
Let me tell you, he's putting a slide tackle there as he's clearing the ball, right? as he's clearing the ball. In the motion of clearing the ball, I'm telling you now, right, and I'm not him, right? But the way that I'm looking at him, because of my Hispanic in me, he's up against a fellow countryman, right? Now, if that was let's say that was Cole Palmer or one of the other players, and he's put that tackle in, he puts that tackle in, the ball gets cleared, his foot doesn't follow through. Because it was Enzo Fernandez, he wanted to make a point of it, mate. I'm telling you, that's what he's like. Because if you see when he's played against, if you see when he's played against other Argentinians, who did we play against in the league game last season? And he told the guy to pipe down, or he was going to teach him on the pitch. And it was a fellow Argentinian he said it to. So, and I don't know whether it was McAllister or someone like that. He told him to pipe down and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, he does that against these Argentinian boys. They probably have a bit of to and fro when they're away with their squads and all that. And they know what games are coming up. I think it's because it was Fernandez, he done it and he followed through on him. I don't think he would have followed through as any other player. His foot ended up in an unnatural position, Jim. You put that tackle in, your foot doesn't end up the way it did. And that, for me, is what did it. He did that on purpose.
I'll see if I can find a photo of it in a second. I don't want to play a video and get us in trouble. But, I mean, Jose, I don't know if I 100% agree either. I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough to say and talk about intent because obviously we're not in the man's head. You know what I mean? We're not there. So it's tough. It's tough.
The other thing, Colin, is you don't like to think that he would be thinking like that.
Right. You would like to think he's smarter than that. That he knows he's in the 18-yard box and that, I mean, that's going to be a penalty.
Well, I can tell you something. Kate concurs with Jose, and she thinks he meant to do it.
Yeah. Well, see, we've got 2 versus 2 then, so it's all even.
I don't like to think he would do it, especially to a teammate. He's an international teammate. But we do know, I can tell you this 100%, and we will all agree with this. He's got it in him to do it.
Yeah,
that's true.
He certainly has.
And I think his reputation precedes him, and I think that doesn't help. I think once you've got a reputation of being that kind of guy, you no longer get the benefit of the doubt with tackles. You no longer, you know what I mean? Referees are going to say, "Oh, that's what you do." That Dele kind of had the same problem with his diving. You know what I mean? Like once you get labeled a certain way by referees, it's really hard to break free of that. Of that image. As with anything in life, that's life in general for you. Once you get known as a certain something, it's hard to break that. So I think that's definitely what he's facing. But real quick, before I get totally buried by comments, one thing we do on this show is we get through them all. I've already shown some of these, but Chris Peters can't join today. He's having a day in London with his beautiful wife. He says, "Have a great show. Have a great day in London." Yes. He said, putting in his penny's worth, though, Udoji and Romero let us down, but Dyer and PEH really stood up. And, we agree fully on that. Ellie, sorry she couldn't make it. No problem, Ellie. Enjoy your family time as well. Jim, and just a guy who loves Spurs. We know him. Big up in the chat. And then we've got another guy we know saying, smash that like if you can. It's free. Please comment and ask questions in the chat. And if you're agreeable with the content, then please subscribe. And that's from my man Jose to my right here. Kate, your lovely Kate says, "Big up, gents. Big up to Kate." And then here we get Daniel with the real kind of like meat and potatoes, the hard hitting stuff. He says, "I'm sorry, but this game is alarm bells. All the people who said if we get injuries and it ain't happened yet, we see it flash before our eyes. That was a fucking disaster yesterday."
I mean, Colin, look, everything everyone was talking about, if this happens, if that happens, all happened in one game. I mean, it's just really mind-boggling.
Yeah. I mean, we had the red cards, we had the injuries, leaked goals because of the high line. I mean, it was something a lot of people talked about. Jose, do you have? I know that we don't want to focus on the negative, so I promise not to. And this is just a little. We'll just touch on it for a second. But I mean, do you have any response to this comment?
I'm sorry, this game is alarm bells, and all the people who said it get injured ain't happening next year. Right. So to me, right, I made a comment earlier. In whose stream was it? But Mari was there, so it must have been Sabba's earlier. And Mari was making all these comments, and I just had to put a comment and tell him to shut up because this game is about facts. It's not about if, buts, maybes. Factually, these things occurred yesterday. If buts and maybes were before the game, we've all been saying, but if this happens, if that happens, and maybe this happens throughout the season, then we're going to be this, we're going to be that, we're going to be the other. It's not about if buts and maybes. The facts are yesterday, we had 2 players sent off. We've lost a vital player to a possible long-term injury. From when I mean long-term, it's going to be at least 2 months. So at the end of the day, it's unfortunate what happened yesterday. I did say before the game, and I've said all season, that we've got a squad of players. We know what our squad is. That's the squad we've got to play with till January. Injuries, whatever comes our way, suspensions, that's the squad we got. There's no point of them and getting off the high horse and saying, but this, that, and the other. It is what it is. We got to pick up and deal with it. End of story.
100%, 100% right.
Like every other team. And what we should be doing is we should be taking our L gracefully. We take our L. Let's not be like the people down the road from us and other sour people when they get a loss. We got to take that gracefully. We got beat yesterday. End of story. We need to brush down, dust up, learn from that, get the lessons learned, and move on.
Yeah.
But let's be gracious.
I'll tell you another positive, Jose. I'll tell you another positive, right? I am convinced, I'm 100% convinced, right, that in the beginning of January, our new signings will be straight in the door. I've seen Ange talk about it too much. He wants them in quick, so I think it will all be done quick. I'm convinced when that window opens, they'll start flowing in the first 10 days. Yeah. So that at least we can kick on early then.
And I still think that I know that I keep going on about it, and I know that it was one match, and I know that he still didn't look good in the high line, but I actually was really impressed with Eric Dyer yesterday. And if we have to see him on the pitch, I'm not as worried about it as I was before yesterday.
Well, he's got something to prove, Colin, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That definitely plays a role. I mean, he looked mature. He looked like he was really lifting everybody around him. He and Venom in the goal, both were G'ing people up, and we're making sure everybody was pumped up and ready. And I don't know, I really liked the leading attitude I saw from him. I know that he was a part of that leadership group that was no good, and wasn't a good thing for the club. But he did show some leadership qualities yesterday, and I think it was good for the squad, especially at the time. I think if we've got to have somebody come in and replace one of our, some of our defenders, I think that he's not a bad option. And then, and maybe we see Tosin come in January. Maybe this speeds that up a little bit as well. So Tosin might be more into it, as he might see more of a, ability to get in and get some game time too with this happening. And so, it'll be interesting. We've got some more comments. Wayne Bonner, though, saying, "Howdy, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. A serious transfer window needed in January." Yes, we were just talking about that. I didn't even see your comment before we talked about that. That's funny. But yes, and Jim and Jose both agree that it's going to be quick. We're going to start getting players in fast. I hope they're right. Danny, Romero's supposed to be one of the captains. Got to keep his head, but he got lucky with the David Beckham kick out, and then had another stupid tackle. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. So we can try to spin this as much as we want. Oh, and we're going to. We're going into the hardest fixtures so far this season without 3 of our best players, mate. I think that we just played some of the hardest fixtures this season. We've already played Arsenal and Chelsea. I know you're probably referring to like Villa and Newcastle, but I don't think that's nearly our hardest fixtures of the season.
Daniel, at the end of the day, right? It's no good everybody just getting down and being, because we lost one game and we lost some players. We've had 8 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss, right? Yeah. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I've seen some Spurs fan. It's like there's been an apocalypse or something,
Like a meteor came down and the whole team's gone. Yeah, the stadium.
And Ange's been working with these players, right? Dyer or whoever there, right? He's been working with them for months and months and months now. They must have picked up something from him, otherwise they shouldn't be footballers. So let's see who he puts on the pitch and see where we kick on from there. I'm not going to start kicking them, because they're down. He's got a lot of work to do, Ange, now, and we're going to see what he's worth. But let's stay upbeat with it and just move on and crack on. It's one game. It's not like I watched the what's the terrace? What's it called? The football terrace.
Football terrace,
You know,
yeah.
I've got people in there. The Tottenham season's over. Tottenham this, Tottenham that. He got his biggest audience yesterday, right? And I said I done a super chat, and I said, how funny is it that everybody says we're not their rivals, and everybody says we can't win the title, and yet look at all the people in here so happy that we've
celebrating our loss.
Yeah, but why? Why? It's because they were worried about us.
Hell yeah.
They're still right. What I will say, right, is, God, I had something to say. I had something to say, now it's gone. It was just to catch up with the chat. But so this is what I was going to say. Right, this is not sour grapes from me because I'm taking the L, and yeah, Chelsea have got the result. I've put up with Chelsea supporters all my life. I got a bit of ribbing yesterday, not as much as what I normally get, but I got a bit of ribbing yesterday, which kind of tells me that they appreciate that we got a good team anyway. But then I looked at the league table today, and I'm looking at the league table. We're still 11 points ahead of Chelsea. And what I will say is Chelsea and us, we're parallel because we're both starting out this season with new managers and trying to build for the future and get a philosophy in and stuff like that. So both Ange and Poch are doing this. They both started at the same time in the summer, and we're on an equal level footing with them. Yeah, they've beaten us, but we're still 11 points clear of them. So, you know, at the end of the day, we've got to be grateful for where we are. And what I will say to people about the fixtures is that computer at the start of the season sets out your fixtures. The one thing you know is you play everyone twice, both home and away. You're going to have 38 fixtures over a season. That computer tells you who you're playing and what order it's going to be, barring any postponements, barring any fixture changes because of cut replays or whatever. That's your fixture list. So you know you're going to play. You're going to play everyone twice. So you will be assessed at the end of the season after you've played everyone twice. And to me, we've got to play everyone. We've got to play everyone and play everyone twice. Then let's see where we are at the end of the day.
Boom. Absolutely. Very, very good point. Very good point.
Just to say to the people, the doom and gloomers out there, we got Wolves away. Then we got Villa at home. There are 2 remaining games for November, although they are 2 weeks apart because of the international break. In December, we're away to City, home to West Ham, home to the Geordies. We're away to Forest, home to Everton, and then home to Bournemouth. They're the games that we've got taking us until December the 30th. After December the 30th is when the window opens for the transfer window.
Right.
Yeah. So we've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 home games. Sorry, I forgot Brian. 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 away games and 5 home games to come before the end of December.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I don't think it's nearly as doom and gloom as everyone else does either. Neither does Wayne Bonner. Wayne Bonner says the result doesn't bother him, but the 3 of our back 4 out bothers him. That Van de Ven injury is a massive blow. Yeah. Totally agreed, Wayne. Totally agreed. Don Danboy is in the house. What is up, Dan? He says, hello, everyone. Hello, sir. And Daniel E is agreeing with Wayne here. The injuries, the bans, that's what's got him angry and worried. And yeah, we get it, man, for sure. You just can't get too worked up. You got to make sure you stay level-headed as much as possible. Todd Spurs says, big up call, Jose, Jim, and all. Gotta say, I was screaming at my TV for them to calm down right after we scored. You could see what was coming. Too fired up, and it cost us. Learning curve, we will bounce back. I love the positivity. VAR was crap against us. Ref was a joker. Reece James should have been sent off as well after Liverpool VAR complaint. Everything is going wrong against us. I was going to ask, hey, Beer Talk, good morning. I was going to ask you guys real quick. Did you think the Reece James, was there anything in that Reece James elbow?
Look, the last thing Tottenham can do, right, is start complaining about VAR, right? The 2-footed tackle that he got away with and the kick out he got away with, right?
True. Yeah.
Reece James one. It wasn't actually his elbow, was it? It was this bit here. Okay. So there's no complaints there. And look, we've had some luck with VAR this season. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
The Liverpool game. Do I need to say no more? So VAR is what it is. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You know. So for me, no complaints. The only complaint I got about VAR is it takes too long.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's complaint about VAR, but yeah, VAR is just a hot mess.
I tell you something. Sorry, Colin. I tell you something. I thought the Sonny one didn't look offside to me, not at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And I was going to ask about that as well. Jose, do you remember that particular play? And did you think it was pretty obvious that Sonny was, or that there was an offside in that, or did you think that
the Sonny goal?
Yeah, Sonny's the second goal.
Listen, facts are facts. It's been given as offside. The goal didn't count. Right? There's loads of conspiracy stories out there. Last night, they were saying that, I don't know, Saudi Arabian football network channels have got AIs rather than drawing lines and that. And the AI showed that Son was onside, blah, 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 blah. Look, it's been given as offside. The goal didn't count. We knew the goal didn't count because it was told at the stadium. The referee blew saying the VAR had gone against it. You move on. You can't argue about saying, as soon as they made that decision, you move on. End of story. You don't go back and concur and, you know, what's happened here, what's happened. No, it wasn't the goal. Carry on.
That's what I said, Jose. We can't complain about VAR because one thing I can tell you, Liverpool, when they scored against us, was onside. Wasn't even close.
Very true. Very good point. Very good point. It's weird. I want to point out one thing. It almost seemed very Battle at the Bridge-esque last night, which was weird because the only player that was there for that match was Sonny. You know what I mean? Like out of those players, I don't know. It was. I think you're right. Everybody was just too fired up. But let's move from the. Sorry, there's still a lot of comments to get through.
Yeah, we need to get through the comments and carry on talking because it's all right, Jim. They're just coming back with. Should have been sent off even before it got tackled. Romero did not learn from the first bit of stupidity. He's supposed to be one of the captains, supposed to lead by example. Did not yesterday.
Yeah.
Totspur says that Romero's red card was justified in his opinion. He cleared the ball, yes, but on the follow through, he completely changed the shape of his foot. Without a doubt, he deserved that red. Good afternoon, Ian Barron. Thanks for your support. He's coming on and hitting the like button like he normally does on all the shows.
Ian, big up, big love, dude. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
He told McAllister to get up and stop crying. Beer talk. How many times the games do they get? So I believe that Udogie is getting a one-match ban because it was 2 yellows, and Romero, because of intent and the fact, gets 3 for a red card.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Ian Barron, a simple way of sorting out the red cards and discipline on the pitch is to fine the players heavily. Simple. Danny's agreed with me that the foot was in an unnatural position. Ian Barron goes on to say, give the monies to charities. Beer Talk says there was a strange vibe last night from the kick.
Agreed.
Ian Barron is, if you do the madness on the street, you would get arrested. Beer Talk. I'm in an island, I guess. I think Dyer gave effort, but his lack of skill resulted in him not being able to compete in this level. And then we've got Daryl Denton. Good afternoon, Daryl Denton.
Daryl, what is up, man?
Someone got a TV on. There's an awful feedback. Sorry, that's probably me, which I've now tried to get my wife to turn the telly down because she's in the next room, but it comes through.
No.
Chris Agenbar saying, big up, everyone.
Big up, Chris.
Wayne Bonner says, didn't get to watch the game, but caught the last 30 to 4 minutes on the radio. Did well, especially Vicario, but I get the impression the players, or at least some of them, played the occasion and not the game. Yeah. I agree with that somewhat. Ian is telling people to sub and subscribe and hit the smash button. Unfortunately, Romero has always had that stupidity in his locker. He's old enough to know better.
I think that's just part of his game that we're going to have to get used to. I don't know if he's ever going to completely iron that out of his game. He might just what is Sergio Ramos? He was always kind of a hothead and would do some crazy shit every once in a while, but he was considered one of the best defenders. So maybe that's just what we have to accept from Romero. I don't know.
Did he do that against Arsenal as well? Was it Arsenal? He was right where everyone was fired up and he got sent off, Romero. I'm sure it was Arsenal.
I can't quite remember. I bet you're right. I think
He was fired up against Martinez for Man United as well. He's fired up against McAllister for Liverpool. He's fired up against any Argentinian he plays against. I'm telling you that now. And I was going to say they haven't got Argentinians at Arsenal, but he's just fired up because it's Arsenal.
Yeah.
Ian Barron is reminding us you could be a Darlington fan with our latest history is not good. I'm a Darlington fan. You are in a privileged position. He's reminding us.
Very good point. Thank you for that.
Leo.
Oh, Leo. Big up, Leo.
And then you've got Danny saying, I can't, man. We have gone from wishing Dyer was gone from this club to now having to rely on him as a senior centre back. In trying my hardest to think positive, it's hard at the moment.
We've always been a you score 5, we'll score 6 type of team, and we're gonna have to step that up during this period of time where our center backs are gone because we're gonna be leaking goals, unfortunately.
And then Kate is just saying, I don't know why Jim's so convinced we'll get the players in fast. We barely even invest in January. Sorry, Jim, I love you though. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Can you time her
out? Who's new says, I'd maybe take a punt on Jerome Boateng or that. No idea if the legs have gone. Beer talk. Morning, y'all.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, Wayne Bonner. All we knew was we were going to lose at some point. It's nature of the game. We move on to the next game and carry on.
Absolutely.
Daniel says, Jim, mate, it's not losing the game that worries me. That's understandable, mate. Teams lose matches. It's all the weaknesses that we've worried about affecting us for future games, mate.
We can't predict the future. I mean, we just don't know.
You've got Ian Brown saying it's only a game of football. Chill out, everyone. The beer talk. Okay, this stream is on both channels. I thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah, we're doing a double. We're doing a double. Streaming on both channels.
Can you see my messages? I'm having phone problems. Yeah, we're reading them out, Ian. Sorry, we hadn't caught up with the chat. We're doing that now so we can move on. Daryl Denton, you don't see 9 versus 11 on the halfway line at a Sunday league with Fat Tony, who had 10 pints before the game, was suicide. Jim says, Daniel, we need to trust in Andy to see what happens, my friend. Leo says, there is no way I can be anything but happy and proud to be a Spurs fan right now. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Very unlucky with injuries, but that's football. Come on, you Spurs. Yes. Beyond 72. Good afternoon.
What's up, Beyond 72? Yeah.
Heard it all now. Spurs privilege. Now you get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Ian. And then Ian, is there 2 channels on the go at the same time? I'm sending messages and they're not getting read out. It's not that. It's that we haven't caught up with the chat. Beer talk. The type of game needed to happen. I don't get the Dyer love. He tried. He gave effort. He just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Daniel Lee is now saying, yeah, this is the game. I would not say VAR was in the wrong at all, but it was all Spurs' own doing, which we've agreed on.
Yeah.
The beer talk. The only issue with VAR is the length of time. Jim was alluding to that earlier. We've agreed on that as well. Spurs. I was very impressed with Venom last night. He was brilliant. He could not have done more, and he was unlucky not to save the penalty. Go on to the positives. We talked about them. We are going to go on to the positives. Beyond 72, the next game against Chelsea is going to be tasty. Just hope we have our first 11.
Come on, yeah, you're right. We got to keep our heads that match. It's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough.
Spurs. We definitely played the occasion and not the game. Wayne Bonner, Vicario is definitely our sign of the season. What a bargain. We will talk about him in a second. I don't get it. Romero sent off against Chelsea, got the penalty. It's like giving 2 punishments for the 1 foul. I think yellow and penalty was fine. Can you explain? I'll explain to you in a minute if you haven't heard what we said already, Dan Boy.
Jose, I've got a question for you in a minute as well.
Okay. Now I can say praises to Vicario, who turned into the beast mode yesterday. Italy's number 1 spot is in the waiting. Be careful, Donnarumma.
100%.
Just before I answer Danny Boy, this is the channel for Kate, Elly, and Jim, who all come under the banner of Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs.
Give that a sub, god damn it.
A new show tonight as well.
Yeah, there's a show at 8 p.m. tonight, Jim, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice. I'll tune in for sure. I can't wait.
We can plug that away. It's 8 o'clock tonight. Just saying, it's Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs is a channel, but you've got Kate, and her moniker is Kate, Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Then you've got Ellie with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. And then you've got Jim with Just a Guy Who Loves Spurs.
Yeah, but the show belongs to Kate, Ellie, and Mia.
Yeah, The tonight's one is it's a collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah, and me and Coover are guests tonight.
Yeah, so it's Spurs Between the Lines and Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs are collabing tonight, 8:00.
That sounds lovely. I bet that's going to be an awesome show. Everybody tune into that one.
I love a threesome.
Just to answer the question for Dan Boy. Right, so because the phase of play, Dan Boy, the phase of play was followed through because the end of the phase hasn't followed, so something had happened throughout the phase of play. Because when they pulled up the guy for offside, the phases hadn't finished, so therefore they went through each phase of play, and that's where they got to. So therefore, the goal was disallowed because in that phase of play, the ball's gone through or right beside Nicholas Jackson, who was deemed to be offside. And after that happened and the goal went in. Sorry, after that happened, that wasn't the one that happened. It was a different phase of play. Because if the goal goes in, then Romero doesn't commit the foul. Or did Romero commit the foul first and the ball went out and it was shot in? But regardless of that, the red card was given to Romero because of the tackle that he made. He's played the ball, but then his foot was unnatural in going through the follow through to the player.
He made the foul first.
Yeah, so he made the foul first. So,
well, let me ask you a question, Jose.
Sorry, just saying. Totspur says, "Oh, it's my bad." Mia as well. So yeah, can you plug Mia's channel on there as well, which would be good. Maha say the game is about glory. What a better way to go out. We burned out at the end. I was impressed with all the subs that were called upon.
Big up,
touch
up
on the positives.
Yeah.
And you got the options are try to find something in the first team squad, promote 5 from the under 21s, or look to the players who went out of contract in the last transfer window. Jim, sorry, now that we've caught up, it's up to you. Sorry, you're going to ask me something, mate.
Well, Jose, explain this to me because I'm so confused, right? I was watching it yesterday and I was just dumbfounded. When they scored their second goal, we was on the halfway line, right?
Yeah.
Just over, we was just in our half.
Yeah.
Right? Sterling got a ball slipped through to him.
I know exactly what you're going to say to me. Yeah.
Well, Sterling was onside.
Yeah.
Jackson
was offside.
By like 3 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, was offside. Yeah.
And then he ran forward, Jackson. So he's got a 3 yards start on the defenders, and he put the ball in there. So why is that not offside?
I haven't got the rules right in front of me, but
so he's allowed to have a 3 yard start on our defenders.
Right, but Jim, by the same token, mate, right, if you looked at our free kicks towards the end of the second half, right, you know where we had the chance with Dyer and the Bentancur chance, if you look at that, Sonny is standing 6 or 7 yards in an offside position as the ball's being played, and then the defenders then drop back, and then the action goes on. All right, it didn't get to Sonny, but Sonny's standing in an offside position when they played the free kicks in. So
but the thing is, he's not interfering with play, right? But what I'm saying about Jackson is
he wasn't interfering with play, was he? Because the ball
Jackson scored. Down. He scored the goal.
Yeah. Okay, but when the ball was played in and he was in an offside position, the ball was played in on the channel, right? And it was Sterling was nearest to the ball. It was played down the channel, and therefore he wasn't interrupting the play at that stage. And when the play then continued, he then pulled the ball back to him, which then seems unfair, and then he scores a goal.
But he was offside for that second.
Like I said, if Son was offside for the free kicks, right, and then the balls get played in, and say Dyer hadn't scored, and Dyer had placed the ball back to Son, and Son tapped it in for a goal, it would have counted. And Son was standing clearly in offside position for our free kicks.
Well, I'll tell you something, that is the most stupid rule I've ever heard of. So what they're saying is you can get a 3-4 yard head start on the defender as long as you're not interfering with play. And then once the guy overtakes you, right, he can pass back to you and you can score.
So Daniel, he says there, look, yes, Jim, because he was not involved in the first phase of play. Jackson soon as Sterling touched the ball, then Jackson is deemed to be then onside after.
Well, I'll tell you something.
I know, it doesn't seem right, but we were doing it as well, Jim. So if you look at
I don't get the offside rules anymore. I'm so confused with them. I am. Yeah. It used to be so simple. And they've messed about with it so much, I'm confused.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, what we're going to do, can we, because I'm just worried about your time, Jim. And
you're all right. I'm all right for a bit.
Right. So what I wanted to do, if I can, Jim, is we've talked about the negatives, and there were negatives, but away from the negatives, Jim, there were positives, weren't there?
Lots of positives.
So
Massive positives.
Can you enlighten us on the
Yeah,
positives?
but the positives are the team were together, right? Massively together, right? A huge positive, right? The crowd in that ground. Oh my God, they didn't let off the whole game. They give them a standing ovation at the end, clapping them, you know. But have you ever seen a Tottenham team together like this lot? I mean, they were just like fighting for each other. You know, they never give up. They run their backsides off. How many teams would have folded in that position? Even when we went 2-1 down, they were still giving it everything. You know, it's huge. That's massive to see a team like that. You know, and lose two of their players to bookings, lose their best defender to an injury, and their best midfielder to an injury, and still give it everything. Oh my God, that's massive, huge. I mean, I've never seen that with a Tottenham team before. Never. Even in Poch's era, they never fought like them guys did.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And even, I like that even the subs that came on.
The subs that come on, Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive. They all give it their all. You know, the whole lot of them. The ones that come on, give it their all. You know, I mean, look at the Viking. I mean, love him or hate him, and that man gives you 100% every single game.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like he was giving 110 last night.
Yeah.
He was going above and beyond. Real quick, Brian McGuire, not a name I recognize. Brian McGuire, big up. Good to have you, man. Saying the squad lacks depth. And yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with you there, Brian. We definitely do. We'll see how we deal with it in the upcoming matches. It'll be interesting to see. Ange has got a game to play now with his selections, and we'll see if he gets it right. I personally am of the belief that we've got the skill in other areas to cope and that we can get through this relatively unscathed. But I know that there's going to be some other people that disagree for sure.
So to me, right, I'm going to echo what Jim said, right, and obviously, Colin, you and I have had a chat this morning as well, and so you can come in on this as well, mate. So yeah, the positives for me, Jim, were the players that played the 90 minutes. They put a serious shift in.
Yeah,
we were down to 9 men. The players that played 90 minutes put a serious shift in. The players that came on as substitutes, they put a real shift in. And yesterday it was a proper team game. They all had each other's backs. They all fought for each other, and they all stuck with each other.
Yeah.
The other positive for me is the crowd. The crowd stayed with the team all the way through. I wasn't at the game.
Shut up.
Yeah, I wasn't at the game, Jim. Ellie was going to come on today with you, but her family have arrived, so she obviously had to see her family because she's on your show tonight. So, because otherwise we were going to get the perspective from Ellie because she was at the game. And I suppose we can get this another time because she was going to tell us all about what happened at the crowds and everything. So that's a positive. And the signing of the season was also positive as well. Forget Madison, forget Van der Ven, the signing of the season. And I think that every other club in the league wishes that Venom was their keeper.
Do you know what, Jose? He took one in the face, diving straight at the guy's feet. He took the ball straight in the face. I said this, Jose, right? And Kate will back me up. Before we got this guy, right, I looked into him and I watched a lot of videos and I watched some games that he'd played. And I said to Kate, if we get this guy, right, he's going to end up one of the best goalkeepers in the Premiership. I thought he had one or two things to iron out, which he hasn't even shown in the Premier League, and I still stand by that. He's going to be, to me, one of the best Premier League goalkeepers. The guy is phenomenal. I mean, he's brave, he's quick out of his area. He's got everything. He's a good stopper, shot stopper. I mean, to me, he's got everything. Takes the ball out of the air. That was one of the things I was worried about with games I'd watched him. Right, he seemed to
punch it a lot. Yeah.
They've worked that out of him. I mean, he plucks it out of the air like it's nothing. Well, what a keeper we've got there.
Sorry, can I just say, Colin, can you plug Talk and Ball, please, in the chat? Because we've got people, apparently people are watching on my Hotel Cockerel stream as well. And so therefore what we're going to do is we are collabing. I've done it for the first time. I didn't realise it's gone on my channel because I've got people here that are not appearing on the chat here. And they're appearing in our overall chat, but not in. So if you can go across and subscribe to there to Talk and Ball, which is where we're currently streaming from at the moment, that would be much appreciated for Colin and I if you sub to this channel, and therefore we can see every comment for both channels.
Yeah, we were trying something out with the going to multiple locations, but we'll get that all figured out. We're still learning. Both of us here.
So yeah, Vicario for me, right? A lot of people out there, Jim, would you agree? Colin, would you agree? A lot of people need to eat humble pie out there.
Yeah,
myself included. Yeah,
there was a lot of supporters when we were supposedly linked with Raya, and we got Vicario in. Everyone said, "Oh, he's the bloody cheaper option, bloody Levy again, blah blah blah." When we knew all the way along, we knew that Paratici was cooking, and you got the picture of Paratici. What was he doing, Colin?
Oh yeah, I've got it. He's definitely been cooking. He still is cooking. Let's get him up here. Did you
hear about last night, Jim? That Paratici was at the stadium last night again, and he was on his phone throughout the game.
Good deal, on his phone, cooking, getting work done. I love it.
He doesn't seem to care, does he?
Well, no, but whatever deal he's got that he can come and become a consultant with him, it's not stopped him working, Jim. Yeah. Last night they were telling me, the people at the stadium were telling me that he was on there on his phone non-stop and he was working away at the stadium yesterday. So, you know, I want to go back to Vicario, where all the haters, Jim, were saying, yeah, it's leaving, penny pinching. You know, we don't know what we're doing. We should have gone for Raya. Well, all I've got to say, and we're only 11 games in, a lot of you people in the chat now and a lot of our supporters must have seen Raya go on loan to Arsenal, must have seen Raya play for Arsenal and have watched Venom play for us. In fact, you would have watched Venom play against any other goalkeeper so far this league. What have we done? Have we got the signing of the summer there or what?
17 million.
That price is what really solidifies it as the signing of the summer. I mean, obviously his play is great, but I mean, for that price, you wouldn't even get a decent player a decent outfield player for that price. So I don't know. It's insane. The price that we paid for him, 17 million. It's blows my mind.
Well, Kate asked me at the beginning of the season which one I prefer, and I said Vicario.
Really?
Yep. And we got him. And when he went to Arsenal, I said to him, I don't care. He's gone to Arsenal. We got Vicario.
Daniel, he says Vicario is his first positive. His sweeping for a goalkeeper last night was fucking elite.
It was unbelievable. It's like having another defender in a way. With the high line that we play. I mean, it's gold to have him. What did you say, Kate? Kate said sweeper keeper.
Yeah, like Hugo used to be kind of, but better. I've got some comments starred that we're going to come back to, some questions, guys. So if we don't get to a question, it seems like I skipped it. I've actually starred it for later. One from Brian McGuire and one from Beer Talk at the moment. So we'll be back with those.
Then you've got Beyond 72. I agree with the team spirit, Jim, but we must learn to keep our heads. I get it. As Chelsea were getting calls on 50-50, but we played into their hands.
Yeah.
Well done, Beyond 72. He's subscribed to Talk and Ball.
Good man.
Maybe as well, the other person would be Brian McGuire, if he could subscribe to Talk and Ball as well, as that's the show we're currently streaming from. Beyond 72 has also said that he wanted Raya.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I did too, so I can't blame you one bit.
And Daniel says, I hope I've got as well. The hope that I've got as well is when Vicario activates beast mode, he will save us points in these next 6 tough fixtures.
Agreed.
Cherie's in the house. Sorry, guys, my phone was messing up earlier. I hope you're doing good. Yes, it wasn't our day yesterday, but we should be very proud of all our 9 players fighting till the end. Totally agree, Cherie. Totally agree.
Yes. Hell
and
yes. Whoa! Julie, my mom. What is up? Vicario was fire, just like our hair.
I watched Julie, just so you're aware, I watched the stream last night that you and Colin did, and I said to Colin this morning when he woke up and I first contacted him, I said to him, I watched the stream and your mum was on point with absolutely everything she said. So well done, Julie. You're important. Your views are important, and they are valued, and they are proper football knowledge that you've got there. So
she
well
might know
done,
more
Julie.
about football than me, honestly. She slugged me around training and matches and tournaments, and she's probably watched more football in her life than I have. So yeah, big up to my mama.
Beer talkers, can Vicario play centre back and Forster in goal?
He might be a good center back. Yeah, aggressive for sure. Gracias.
No, instead of gracias, it's all well deserved, Julie. You deserve the praise that you're being given.
Boom. I love all the love.
So going back to Venom was absolutely, he was different. He was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic.
And he was Angie's choice. Angie said that in his interview.
Yeah.
It was him.
Wait, he was Angie's choice? Is that what you said? Wonderful.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Van de Ven was Angie's choice too, and that's why we didn't pursue Tapsoba harder. If it was going to be one of them, I think that Postecoglou wanted Van de Ven. I honestly think that. I know that Tapsoba was seen as a better player during the summer, but I think we made the right choice at Van de Ven, and I think that's who Postecoglou wanted for his system.
Andrew said that they asked him about the players in January. And he said he's picking every player. He said there's no point in me having players if I don't pick them. He said I can't have players that someone else pick because he doesn't know if they're going to go into my system. You know, he said it's not only about fitting in the system, it's about their character. So he said he will be picking the players. So I don't think Andrew will be saying that if it wasn't true. And he said his other thing. He said, if I pick them, I take responsibility for them.
Hell yeah, that's what a manager. We haven't had a guy take responsibility for anything with the team in a long time. So it's good to have a manager with some balls that you know is not going to run and hide like a coward, like both Conte and Mourinho did, in my opinion. But Mile High Hotspur, Leo is still in the house. Vic, such a flair player, or such Vic Flair. I get it, Ric Flair, Vic Flair. Funny. Such a great player, best signing of the season for sure so far. And then big up Mom.
Can I say, Leo, whilst you're here, right, I've been told that you're going to be coming on, my man. So when are you going to come on? When are we fixing up a date to get the Mile High Hotspur man on this channel? So stay in contact with Colin and we make the date and we arrange that to happen.
Yes, absolutely, Leo. We can't wait, man. Vicario does have Romero's fire minus the recklessness. Very good, very astute. And more love going on. Love it. And speaking of love Ange. Has there been an update yet on VDV? I don't believe so.
No, not heard anything. And I would have thought the earliest we'd get anything on him would probably be tomorrow because it's normally 48 hours after they normally let the information and stuff settle down before they do the MRI scans. So I thought the earliest we're going to find out about him will probably be tomorrow. I'm hoping beyond hope, really, that it's not as bad as what I first feared. Some people are saying it's a grade 3 tear, and a grade 3 tear is not good. But that's from the eye test only. The way he pulled up, people said it could be a grade 3.
It looks terrible.
We just wish him a speedy recovery. Whatever he's got an injury, but let's wish him a speedy recovery. And he comes back, you know, fighting fit for both himself and his sanity, for his health, and also for us as fans.
He's young, he's strong, he's got good muscles. He'll be all right.
Is true. That is true. He's a very young man. So that's a good point. 22. Right. Exactly. And one thing I just saw here, and this has nothing to do with really much, but I do see that there was a fan at the match, it looks like, handed a 3-year ban for making racist gestures at Son. Why the fuck does Son always get racially abused? God, that annoys me. I mean, I get it.
You've got pricks in society.
And because he's a good player. If he wasn't a good player,
he's a great player.
it goes on. It goes on in society far too much, and you've got idiots in society, and it goes on in all walks of life, and it should just stop.
Absolutely. Here's hoping we see that in our lifetime.
Yeah. So you've got Kate bigging up Leo. Then we've got your mum saying, "I'm so impressed of how unfussed Andrew was after the match. Unflappable." Beer Talk is saying, "Since Guillermo is Italian, William, can we call Vicario Billy V?"
I like it a lot.
We also have Brian Maguire saying, "Big Ange is building something special. Check the youth players are playing the same way as our first team."
And Brian, yeah, that's awesome. We've talked about that too. We can't believe that it's taken this long for the team or the Tottenham Hotspur as a whole to figure out that needs to happen. Shouldn't the youth players have been playing the same system as the adult senior team forever? I mean, it's weird. It's weird to us that that's just now happening.
And Daniel says another that is a positive is Bentancur coming on and into a situation where we were up against it. In these sort of situations, it will help his match fitness and sharpness quicker. True.
Yeah.
Leo is saying that he will be in touch. Big up. Looking forward to it, Leo, my man.
Yes, sir.
Who's News is saying in the end it's only 3 points and the season has a fair bit to go. Anything can happen.
You don't win or lose the league with one match. I mean, and I know that. So,
no, of course not. It's not all doom and gloom. Everyone thinks it's all doom and gloom. It's been a bad day at the office for us, right? And we've had some major setbacks. But look, we've got Ange. We can put a team out there. Ange has been working with them for months. We don't know what he's done with them, right? Look, I'm going to be honest. You know me, Jose. I'll say what I believe. If he's done something with Dyer, and he turns out that he plays well for us over the next 6 weeks, I'll be amazed, right? But I'm not saying it's not possible. He could have worked with him and he could have ironed out some things with him. Can't do nothing about his speed, but he could have ironed out some mistakes that he does. Let's just wait and see. I'm not going to be jumping on all of them. We got to give them a chance.
If he starts playing, Jim, and he starts putting tackles in,
then something's changed.
Then something's changed.
Yeah.
I mean,
yesterday they won in the box, and I saw him going in, and I thought, oh no, but it was a fantastic tackle.
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing. I thought, penalty, another penalty. Here we go.
And if I asked you in all honesty, Jim, when was the last time you saw Dyer make a tackle? How many years ago?
The last time I saw Dyer make a proper tackle was when he was with it was Poch, and Poch put him in the middle.
His hair looked like this. That's back whenever he used to make a proper tackle. He hasn't done
He was in front of the back four. He wasn't even in the back four. He was in front of the back four.
Playing that defensive midfield. Yeah, absolutely.
So therefore, in that sense, then who knows? As I said, and what we don't get to see is what happens on the training pitch. We don't get to see that. We've all got our thoughts. We all come out with our thoughts and we all say X, Y, and Z, but we're not party to go with what goes on the training pitch. And obviously, Ange ain't no mug. And like I said, you've got to play with the hand you're dealt with. The hand you're dealt with is that squad that you've got. You have to play with that hand until January. Every team has to play with that hand till January. And, it depends. If people want to prove something to Ange, it's their time to prove it now because we're up against the wall. So something to them to prove it now. So we'll have to see.
If we start getting results, he'll definitely be getting the Manager of the Month awards if we start getting results with this team and with these injuries.
Let's hope to give it to him this month again because he won't be getting it next month. I don't think.
We don't know. I mean, I think if we win every other game with this squad, maybe he'll be. I don't know. Yeah.
You got your mum saying while our injury list is piling up, the young players have a huge opportunity in front of them, and I'll put money on Ange develop them quickly. You've got love being shown by Maha Hotspur to Kate.
Watch out, Jim.
I have to go because my dinner's going to be ready in a minute.
Jim, thank you very much, mate.
Listen, I love coming on here. I will come on again for the whole show.
Okay. We will plug your channel and Mia's channel again. No worries at all. All right.
You.
Enjoy your dinner, and we'll see you at your show tonight, guys. Yeah.
Thanks everyone in the chat for coming in.
Jim, you're the best,
man. Be on, gents. You're lovely guys. Thank you.
We'll see you soon, buddy.
Much. Cheers, mate. You've got Brian Maguire coming in. Brian Maguire coming in and saying, "I've been watching them on YouTube play Play from the back, possession based.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
He then says Dyer hasn't recovered since he was 18 months. Your mum says, "Ooh, the seatbelt kit."
Oh, that she's talking about this kit that had the sash in front of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Looked like a seatbelt. Yeah.
Beer Talk is considered. Will we consider a 3-4-3?
Has Ange ever played a 3-4-3? That's my only question there. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but
Beer Talk says there's Dyer CDM, and we catching up. So who's new? Saying Porro, Phillips, Romero, Sessegnon at left back. Take entire defence from the 21s and tell them spots available. 21s play the same system.
Yeah,
what I will say to the conversation of Beer Talk said about 3-4-3. How do Tottenham line up?
How do Tottenham line up?
Yeah.
Well,
how do we line up? How do we line up at the moment, Colin? If I asked you,
4-3-3.
Is it?
Yeah, but then I mean, it depends on if you're talking about in possession or out of possession.
Okay, so there you go. Then, do you see what I mean? Because when we're playing, we don't play 3 at the back. We play 2 at the back, and the 2 at the back are our 2 centre halves because the 2 fullbacks then invert into midfield.
Right. Or one pushes up and one plays in the midfield. But yeah, definitely at least one of them plays in the midfield for sure.
So therefore, there's lots of different formations. We all start out as a 4-4-2, right? But we will think it's a 4-4-2. But in possession, in defence, in attack, he switches it up to change it around a bit, and it could end up looking a bit like what's at the further down I'll show now. Brian, we're all aware of Mikey Miller, top talent, mate, top talent. Beer Talk says we could look at a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. Or that's how we play at the moment. And then you've got who's new saying 4-2-3-1 defence, 2-3-5 in attack. So these guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. On paper, we could say 4-4-2, but really we've been playing other systems because there's been tweaks. And Ange will know that he's without 3 players for definite against Wolves. So Ange will know that he's definitely without Dogi, Romero, and Van der Ven. So it's what do you do to plug that? Is what do you do? Now, there are lots of people saying that Davies is injured. Let me play devil's advocate. If Davies is not injured, then who's the 4 in defence for Saturday?
Do you play Davies at centre back in that scenario?
I'm asking you.
Yeah. No. Okay. So if Davies isn't injured, then you play him at left back. You play a center back pairing of. I thought that not Romero. Why do I always do that? I thought that. Oh my God! Why can't I think of his name? Brazilian right back. Emerson. Yeah. I thought Emerson did a commendable job playing as a center back. We all kind of knew he would. I could see him playing right-sided center back, Dyer left-sided center back, and then Davies as left back. It's ugly, but I could see it.
Okay, so what I'm going to say to you, right, is that if you look at the game again from yesterday, so Brian's saying Dorrington or maybe playing Phillips. I think Phillips might be a good shout. I just don't think Dorrington's ready yet, to be honest. I think he needs to do a lot more before he's ready. Out of them two, the one that's more primed towards first team football at the moment would be Phillips, in my opinion.
I've been clamoring for him forever too. So I
might be wrong, but it's my opinion. If you were going to go for strictly seniority or players that have been about the block for a bit, I would say that the 4 that you're saying are 4 that he could look at. What I will say is that I felt that Emerson, the last 15 minutes when we made the substitution for Brennan Johnson, because we'd gone down to 10 men and we played Emerson at the back with Dyer, I felt the last 15 minutes we were really edgy and we looked really, really vulnerable. The minute that Udogie got sent off and Emerson went to left back and Højbjerg dropped to the centre of the defence, I thought we looked stronger.
I could see that.
I thought we looked stronger. And that was with 9 men. Bloody hell. I thought we looked stronger. So, to me, it's what you do. My theory would be, what do we do at left back? I don't think, playing high-line football with Davis and Dyer together, suicide. I said this the other day, didn't I? And I'm gonna go back to me, it's suicide. So, for me, I think you may have to give Ashley Phillips that chance.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I've been clamoring out for it. You've heard me talking every time we talk to Adrian, and Adrian says, everyone says that we need hey, Dry Roast Peanut, big up to you. Does Phillips have any pace? From what I've seen, yes. He's definitely not a slow lad. And I mean, you can ask. I mean, you've been there. You've been there, Jose. Every time Adrian says we need to get a new center back for January, I'm always the first to say, but we've got Phillips. We wanted Phillips. We pushed hard for Phillips. We made sure we got Phillips. I think that he will play. But
did we answer the questions that were starred?
No, not yet. Thank you so much. Let me go up to those. Let's get
because
those
I think
now.
Did Beer Talk ask one? Because Beer Talk's saying here on my question, I meant Dorrington.
Okay, so he said, do you think Phillips and Dorrington get playing time now?
Okay, so I see that now. Right, so for me, they both will do in the sense that with our injuries, both surely will be called up into the first team squad. Now, whether they both start or whether one starts and one goes on the bench or whether none of them start and they both go on the bench, it means that they will be brought into the first team 20 because you've got 11 that play and 9 subs. I would be surprised if both of them weren't brought up into the first team because, in effect, we've lost 2 centre-backs because we've lost Van der Ven and we've lost Romero. The other thing is, for left-back cover, do they bring in the left-back from the under-21s whose name escapes me? Really good player, though. But do they bring him up into the squad? Does he go on the bench as well as cover for the left? And someone will probably know the guy's name.
Yeah, if you know it, slap it in the chat for us because
the left back for the under 21s has escaped my mind, but he may well be brought in as well. So,
real quick, yeah, it was exactly. I was going to pull that up. Thank you. Who's News says youth are good for wing back, and you can stick a creative player out there. Hatate. I've never heard of this guy. Maybe is going to play left back for Japan, to give an example. Hatate, is that a player? Is that a player in our youth team? I swear to God, I don't know.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. In my opinion, Totspur says Poro will be on the right, and then Dyer, Phillips, and Emerson will start at the back versus Wolves. I think that's a safe bet. Jose, what do you think about that?
Right, so like I said, I think I said it to you, Colin, before the show when we spoke this morning. Sorry, your morning, it was my early afternoon.
Yeah.
And I think I said it to you that for any ordinary person, right, us viewing the game, we're going to say that them 4 are going to be ultra slow, right? Because Van der Ven has got absolutely unnatural Syrian pace. So if you're putting these players up against Van der Ven, then there's no chance at all. Van der Ven is going to be sorely missed on the player that we need. However, these players do have speed, so to speak. They do have speed, but against elite footballers, then they're probably going to lack the speed. But Porro is quick, but he's not Van der Ven. Emerson's quick. He ain't Van der Ven. Yeah. Phillips is probably quick, but he's not going to be Van der Ven. So the pace at the back drops off because Van der Ven's just a beast.
So does that defensive line maybe drop back a couple of yards to make up for it?
Well, if you go by, and Jim ran out of time, so it would have been interesting to ask Jim but he ran out of time. Is if you watched the interview with Postecoglou yesterday, you must have seen. Have you seen his interview, Colin, where he turns around and he says, they said to him, but you're playing the high line with 9 players, blah, blah, blah. And he said, look, mate, we'll give anyone a game even if we've got 5 players.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, good point. That line probably will stay exactly the way it is.
So that kind of tells us exactly what his mantra is and what he wants to serve up. Now, if you listen to, and I can't remember who said it earlier, whether it was on another show or whether it was Jim or someone said earlier, that if you look at Postecoglou at Celtic lost players through injury. Celtic weren't the finished article after the first season. The Celtic got beaten in some games, not many, but got beaten in some games. But you're all in or you're not with Postecoglou, because Postecoglou has got one way of playing, and that's to attack. Yeah. So you're going to be in for the ride. If you like attacking football, then you're going to get it. You're going to get that. Yeah, you'll get the attacking football. If you don't, then stop watching, because you're going to get that all the time. Now, what is our motto?
To dare is to do. God damn it!
And what does he do? He does that. He says what the motto says on the tin itself, and he does that. So you got Hughes, and he's saying he plays for Celtic. Yeah, Atate Celtic. Yeah, is what your mum's saying somewhere. Yeah, that's him. Charlie Sayers. Well done, Brian. Charlie Sayers is his name.
Thanks, Brian.
He's the left back that I was looking for. There could be a possibility if we're short in the left side, then it could be a possibility that Charlie Sayers gets called up as well, whether he plays or whether he's cover into that 20. Because at the end of the day, if you lose, if you're going to play Emerson and Porro, regardless of where you play them, if you lose either of them and they're your fullbacks and Davis is injured, then you haven't got replacement colour for fullback. So it could be that we do dip into the under-21s. We're allowed to dip into the under-21s because the squad can be made up of senior players, 25 of them, and under-21s counting the squad as well. So it could well be.
I wouldn't be surprised with the way that Ange is kind of trusting of players, not afraid to throw them into big games. I could see it. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if we saw some of the U21s, get that call up and see some game time. Do I think they'll start?
Yeah, she's pulled the fat stats up. Yeah, she's done a Danny Rose to give us the Rio Hatate stats.
Well, we appreciate it big time.
And you've thanked her. And then we've got who's going to say on the left side is centre back for the under-21s team is captain. And I think that is Phillips, surely. He plays on the left.
Yeah, if he's
it's either him or Dorrington. No, it could. I don't know. I thought Dorrington was right-footed, but I thought they were both right-footed. To be honest, you got Brian Maguire, the Japanese player who plays for Celtic, and then Brian Maguire said, "I play Football Manager."
Ashley Phillips is right-footed,
and I think Alfie Dorrington is as well.
I'll find out. Alfie Dorrington is also right-footed. Yep, you're correct. So one of them, and I know that a lot of people don't like center backs playing, on the opposite side of their strong foot, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as everybody else does. But again, I'm not a manager. I don't know. What about you, Jose? Do you have a huge problem with players playing on the opposite side?
Well, to play the system that they want to play, it's ideal for them to play left foot one side, right foot the other. But
yeah.
I've played with two right footers at centre half. I've played with two left footers playing centre half in teams that I've played with, and it doesn't seem to cause an issue. All it is, obviously, we're talking about fine lines in a professional game. All it's saying is that the ball comes to a player and they're left footed on the left side. Their distribution can be that far quicker because it's natural left footed.
Right, you don't have to switch the ball to your other foot.
It's someone natural for the right as well. However, I said yesterday, was it yesterday's show, Colin? These players get paid so much money.
Oh, they should be able to kick a ball with both feet.
Yeah, in your profession, you should be able to kick a ball with both feet, although one stronger than the other should be able to kick it with both feet regardless, is what I've said.
Yeah, agreed.
Brian saying that's how I know his name. So, with that, should we do people are new to the chat? Thank you very much for joining us,
everybody. Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Truly,
all the games finished yesterday, so therefore we have a predictions league that we do, and we do this on every Friday. On Friday's show, we predict and we allow our people to predict the scores that are coming up for that game weekend. Just to remind everyone, if you get an absolute correct score prediction, so the correct result, you get 3 points. If you get the correct team winning or the correct draw, just not the right result, you get 1 point. And this is week 3, so it's never too late to start.
I was going to say, because everybody, check out how low some of these, when we show the final score, some of them are so low. You've got all it needs is one good weekend from you, and you could be right back towards the top. So, yeah, absolutely. You ready for me to throw them up here? Oh, 1 second. we're getting ready to throw up the results, but all it takes is one good week and you could be up towards the top yourself. Are you ready? Do you want me to go ahead and throw up this week's results?
Yes, please, if you could, so we can go through them. So
let me get that comment out of here.
Those in green are the ones that were correct predicted results. Those in orange are ones that the result went that way, but it wasn't actual correct result. So, for instance, if we look at Fulham Man United, the first game was 0-1 to Man U. So you've got Bobby Kane, Dry Roasted Peanut. I can see straight away that have had a 1-2. So they had the right result, but not the correct predicted result. So they scored a point. So anything in white means you're out, and anything in green means you've got the absolute correct result. So we look at Burnley, Crystal Palace. Sorry, we look at Brentford, West Ham. On this page, we can see Carl Simpson got the correct result, 3-2. The Burnley game, we can see that Sheree and Chris Peters got the correct result. From what we can see on this screen, Sheffield United Wolves, Adrian Stroker got the correct result of 2-1. And then in the Nottingham Forest Aston Villa game, some guy called Jose got the correct result at 2-0.
Who's that joker?
Yeah. And in the Luton Liverpool game, it was that guy called Jose and Brian Daigle both got the correct result. And Tottenham Chelsea, everybody went for the home win. So nobody in that column got any points, which then takes us to the table.
Here we go.
So that is the current table as we stand at the moment.
Yeah, it's a pretty good table. You'll see me right around mid-table with no correct guesses, but still some results that have gone the way I needed them to. So yeah, my mom roasted me in the comments when I was talking about scores, and she said, LOL, talking about your score. Yeah, kind of a little bit, Mom. A little bit. But yeah, you could easily make your way back up. Look at this. 13 points will get you 8th place. I mean, a couple good guesses, you're right back in it. So anybody who has not played up until this point, if you still would like to take part in this league, please don't hesitate. Like I said, or like Jose said, every Friday we do the guesses. We do the everybody, chooses their results. We put them down and then we go over them the next week. And of course, everyone's invited to play.
Adrian's in 18th and played for the first time this week. He's in 18th. So out of 10 predicted results, because there's 10 games every game in the league, and out of 10 predicted results, he correctly predicted 1, and he also got the prediction for 4, like the right result, but not the correct result, but the right result in the right way. So he ended up with 7 points. So, if he does that for 3 weeks, he goes to 21 points. You jump straight up. So that's the league table for the predictions. Tune in on Friday, and you can have a go again on Friday if you like. We do it on our 4:00 show on Friday, and towards the end of the show, we will do the predictions again for week 12, which will be our game week 4.
Boom. And everybody will look just one more time at these results before I take them off of here. Actually, we can leave them. We can still be on screen and have these here. Everyone can look at the results for a while if they would like. But Jose, how are you doing on time, buddy?
Did you want to talk about something else then?
Oh no, I'm pretty much done. I was just making sure that you didn't have anything else that you needed to cover.
Oh no. That's why I went to the prediction tables now.
Boom. All right, guys. So we have Jose in first place. Elly is in second place. We've got to get Jose out of first place. We cannot let his head get any bigger, everybody, or he will not fit through the doorway. So let's get Jose out of first place.
After week 1, for those that don't know, after week 1, I was getting roasted and pelted by my main man Tot Spurs, who was top of the league after week 1. He was roasting and we were getting pelted as the hosts of the show, and we were both down the bottom, I think, after week 1.
Relegation zone, yeah, both
and
of us.
As soon as we'd done that, I turned around on the show and I said, right, I'm going to start playing this game properly if I can, because the results I went for, I did a bit of what Colin did, to try and make it even type thing. We went for some frazzled results that were probably never going to happen, and they didn't, and that's why we were bottom. But since then, in the last 2 weeks, I've decided to pull my finger out and start picking results as I think they would happen, and there would be meaning and reasons as to why. And I'm just hoping that my co-host Colin does the same going forward.
I will, I promise. And real quick, Todd Spurs is talking even more smack. He says, "Big up, Jose. Keep that top spot warm for me."
Okay, I will do top Spurs. I will do.
Yeah. Well, everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. It's been a great show. I wanted to throw up this banner here. No doom and gloom here. That's the main thing I wanted to say. Yes, good deal. Hey, Todd Spurs, we need the banter is half the fun, so we need it, and I'm glad you're providing it. We appreciate you, sir, big time, big time.
And can I say thank you to who I think are the 2 new subscribers to the channel, who I think are Beyond 72 and Brian Maguire. Yeah, I appear more on here than what I do on my own channel. And today, for the first time, we've decided to click both links in. I didn't really know what would happen with my channel, but obviously it has kicked in and people are seeing the show from my channel, which, you know, I don't know, the wonders of technology. But yeah, we will probably do this going forward. So people won't find me there, they'll find me here. So they'll sub here and all our content will come from here, although it looks like it's appearing on both channels. So well done. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us today and for subbing to Talking Ball.
Yeah, truly appreciate it, guys. Big time. Super big time. And everybody, like I was saying before, big up all, says Mom. Big up to you. Thanks for last night's show. Hopefully we can do another one very soon. We'll announce that as they come. But yeah, big up everybody, and no doom and gloom here. It's okay. Are you going
live tonight with Mum?
We haven't decided yet. Probably not, but maybe. But if I do, there'll be a YouTube short about it. And everybody, if you click that bell, you will be notified. So if you're subscribed, make sure you click that notification bell. And then you'll always know when we're going live, even if it's at a random time. Even if we decide to go live 5 minutes before, you'll be notified. And that's always a good thing. So everybody.
Sorry, Top Spurs, if you're still there, can you go and can you plug Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs for tonight, because we had Jim on. So Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs and Spurs Between the Lines for Mia's channel, as they're both collabing tonight. So I think it's Ellie and Kate will be fronting Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Mia will be fronting Spurs Between the Lines, and their 2 guests for tonight are Jim and Kuva.
Have you got money for now?
So well worth a watch. So yeah, if you can go on and give them a sub, go and give them a watch, give a comment, ask questions. The one thing that I will say to people is the one thing that channel hosts like is questions, because if you give us questions, it gives us something to give back to you. We're quite fortunate that in this chat we have a lot of people that make comments, and we try to read every comment out, and we also try to respond and answer everything that's going on. So it's not just us; it's every channel likes people to ask questions and also to make comments, because we'll read them out, and you know we're like, well, you can ask us opinions, we'll give you opinions, you know, and we go from there.
Boom. Todd Spurs coming in with them. Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. There's that link there. And then he's probably getting it too. But here is Mia, Spurs Between the Lines. Check him out, 8 p.m. That's not too far off. Hour and a half or so, right? Yeah.
2.5.
2.5 hours away. So everybody grab your popcorn, get your snacks ready, get all your chores for the night done, and get ready to settle in for some good content. It'll be a good one, everybody. So yep, here's just tune in tonight at Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Here is Mia's page. Here is Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs again. And one more time, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to our Patreon members. Real quick here. Oh, okay. And so, big up. It's on the bottom here at the banner. Big up to Chris Peters, Wayne Bonner, Soji For God, Mia W, Adrian Sroka, and Queen Ellie, our lovely Patreon members. Thank you guys for helping to keep the lights on. If you would like to become a Patreon member, Let me find you the link. I'll throw it up in the chat. Definitely don't have to do it, by the way. Just let me throw that out there. You definitely don't have to do this. Your support by being here is plenty. But if you would like to become a Patreon member, have a chance to run the show on Tuesdays normally on Tuesdays on our Patreon Tuesdays. No one was available today. Everyone was busy. But Patreon members have the opportunity to do that. There's the link right there. Patreon.com/talkandball. Let me put it in the comments as well, of course. But yeah, guys, definitely do that if you feel like it. If not, don't worry. Not a big deal, but it's always nice to have you guys. Always nice to have the questions and the interaction and to be able to talk Spurs and with great people. Anything else to say before we close it out, Jose?
I'd say watch keenly for tonight. I'm going to have a chat with Colin once we go off air. Watch keenly because we may pop up later.
Ooh, yes. Please watch. Hit that notification bell. You'll find out. You'll know. So, yeah, everybody, big up. Thank you again. And, yeah, watch closely. We absolutely could be back. So, big up to everybody.
Yeah,
and
hit the notification bell because we could well be back tonight.
And should I leave him with the James Madison?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go, everybody. All right. Peace out. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.